What's going on YouTube? Heylow here, bringing you another Total War Warhammer 2 1v1 matchup. So today we're going to be rocking some Tomb Kings and Ladder, and we are going to be coming up against the Wood Elves. So let's dive into the army comps. Alright, so for my Lord with Tomb Kings, I'm going to be running Setra the Imperishable on a horse. A Tomb Prince on a horse is going to be supporting her, bringing that anti-large. Front line is going to be some Skeleton Spearmen, back line some Tomb Guard with Halberds, 3 of them. At the core, we're going to have the Skeleton Archers and the Blessed Legion. We are also going to have the Chosen of the Gods and a regular Ushabti with Great Bow. Out in the rear, we have 2 Carrion, and then way out on the right flank, we have a 3rd. So yeah, that's going to be the build for today. Pretty heavy infantry and skirmish with some Carrion support. So let's jump over to the Wood Elves. So we have the Eternal Guard up in front, as well as the Winterheart Guards, the Regiment of Renowned Eternal Guard. Back flanks covered by some War Dancers with Azrai Spears. Core is going to be Glade Guard with Starfire Shafts, 5 units of them. Flanks are each going to be supported by a Wild Rider with shields, and then also going to be rocking a Glade Lord and Spell Singer with Lore of Shadows. So that is the Wood Elf build. Definitely some durable holding line, and then lots and lots of skirmish with some light cav support. So let's start this show. Alright. So seeing the Wood Elf build and their position, we're just going to start moving up and orienting onto the left side a little bit here. And he's going to start advancing as well, seeing that I have the Ushabti with Great Bow, so I do have him outranged. So seeing that he starts advancing, I'm going to pull back a little bit and just kind of straighten out my orientation here. Get my Carrion ready on the flanks and stuff like that, just to support, slow down any Wild Riders, maybe support any engagements that they may push with that. But for right now, Ushabti with Great Bow and the Chosen of the Gods are just going to start laying into some of these archers now that we have them at range. And I'm going to be picking off a lot of unit models with the regular one. That's one thing I've noticed is the Chosen of the Gods does a ton of HP damage, but it doesn't kill models as quickly as the regular Ushabti with Great Bow. So you'll see here like a lot of hits and a lot of HP damage, but model kills definitely goes to the regular Ushabti. As you can see here, we've got 51 left in that unit and 53 there, 44 now. Yeah, definitely out killing. But yeah, just a little observation. So the Eternal Guard are going to be pushing up to take some engagements here. We're going to start pushing the Skeleton Spears out, leave a little opening for me to get my Tomb Guard with Halberds up and through this gap. My Ushabti with Great Bow taking a lot of hits, but we're just going to kind of weather the storm and just do as much damage as we can and take this out. We've got some Carrion coming in to support against the Eternal Guard just to try and get a little extra damage in. Blessed Legion, I'm keeping them back right now because I don't want them to get nuked since they do have a lot of archers left. But we're going to start moving them up and reorient our Tomb Guard onto the flank to deal with some of these Wild Riders and cover our Blessed Legion while they get into range to start taking down these Glade Guard and support our Ushabti. Skeleton Archers over here also going to be opening up. Tomb Guard with Halberds here, just going to be moving up to support this pocket, try and protect it a little bit now that the Wild Riders are all coming in. Tomb Prince going to be playing some defense as well to deal with any of the large. So yeah, you can see here, Setra and the Tomb Guard with Halberds just kind of screening. We're just kind of trying to box out all these Wild Riders. But as far as the skirmishing fight goes, we're actually doing pretty well. We pull our Carrion over. He gets a really nice net to stop one unit, and he is laying waste to it. But this other Carrion unit gets into some of these archers and starts doing a lot of damage, and just allows our Skeleton Archers and the Blessed Legion to start kind of working unharassed. So War Dancers and the Wild Riders start engaging. He's trying to get his cav out and into my archers. A good move there. He subs out the spears. So he does get into the Blessed Legion, which is really bad for me. But we've got another Tomb Guard with Halberd here that's going to come in to support. His other Wild Rider over here also trying to weave in. So we just kind of blob into our spear line so that when he takes this charge, we can try and get him with our spears and trap him in there. Tomb Prince is going to go into support as well. Unfortunately, the Carrion have pretty much been dealt with other than this one unit that's chasing a Glade Guard off. One of them has shattered though, so definitely not over as far as the ranged battle. These Wild Riders have done really good work, but the Tomb Guard with Halberds fortunately getting the incantation with extra weapon damage and armor piercing. They haven't been driven off. So we've got some of our Blessed Legions still holding strong here. And they're just going to start opening up on these other Glade Guard. while we push our Tomb Guard into the rear flank to try and deal with this Eternal Guard. So the rest of our carrion trying to get into this other blob here, this high health unit, and tie that up. We have done a ton of damage so far. We still have a good amount of our skeleton archers left with some ammo here. We still have the Chosen of the Gods. They've still got some ammo. A lot of ammo left on the Blessed Legion. Unfortunately, not a lot of models to do anything with it, and they are kind of crumbling here. So we're trying to get as much damage put out as we can. Fortunately for us, the cab engagement has pretty much been dealt with. All they have left are some Wild Riders out trying to protect from carrion. Our Tomb Guard are holding out really well against these War Dancers, keeping that flank tied up in the back. And yeah, we're just going to be burning through the rest of our ammo here, basically. Just trying to rinse out the rest of the Glade Guard. So I'm going to summon a new Ushabti there just to kind of start getting into the thick of this. All they have over here are some Wild Riders and some of these Glade Guard. So if I can get my Ushabti engaged, they're going to have a really hard time dealing with them. Unfortunately, they get another really nice net there, and he does Prey on a Threma and Withering upgraded. So reducing leadership, armor, just trying to absolutely nuke that summon Ushabti. But that's okay. It was just a summon, so that was a lot of spell power and abilities dropped just on a summonable unit. When meanwhile we have all of our infantry back here that's just kind of wrapping up and dealing with the rest of the high elf infantry. These War Dancers though are tanking it out pretty hard. You can see the skeleton spears getting absolutely wrecked. But fortunately our Tomb Guard with halberds back here are holding out really well. 86 models left to 56. We are grinding this engagement out, so eventually we'll win that. Unfortunately, we lose the Blessed Legion. They do crumble into dust, but we still have our Skeleton Archer unit here, as well as the Chosen of the Gods, who are unfortunately almost out of ammo. So he does get his War Dancers in, though, to the Chosen of the Gods. Fortunately, yeah, we already got all the ammo used up, so Tomb Prince is going to be supporting. We pull Setra in to kind of help out, try and do some damage. Try and save the Chosen of the Gods just to get their last volley off and push the Skeleton Archers out here so that we can try and nuke the Glade Lord a bit. But pull the Skeleton Spears and Tomb Guard out of combat now. The Eternal Guard are all wrapped up. What's left of the Wild Riders coming in hot, trying to get that rear charge into the Skeleton Archers. Get kind of bogged down though on Setra. So I'm going to be dropping the Incantation of Cursed Blades and get that extra weapon damage and armor piercing. Tomb Prince getting in there as well. We're going to try and wreck the rest of these Wild Riders. Just trying to take that out. But Setra does go below half health, so dropping that mass AoE damage effect. Pretty much dealing with the rest of the Wild Riders. Skeleton Archers here still just tearing it up, getting Petra's Incantation of Righteous Smiting for the 40% extra weapon damage, or range damage and AP. So pretty much nuking out the rest of the Glade Guard with Starfire Shafts, just trying to break those units off the battlefield. So at this point, it's pretty much down to the War Dancers and the Winterheart cards. We only have 12 models left. So Spellsinger and the Glade Lord get into my Skeleton Archers. At this point, it's not a huge deal. Kind of a bummer to lose that extra ammo, but that does give me the opportunity to get my Tomb Prince and to get Setra into the thick of things against them. So they came in after the Archers, and now this Spellsinger is going to be getting pretty much destroyed by Setra. Glade Lord taking some mean damage as well. Glade Lord uses Mind Razor on himself to give himself that extra weapon damage, armor piercing, and magic. That's tough. That's gonna do a ton of damage against Setra. But Spellsinger's dipping out of there. We're gonna be pulling our Tomb Guard into support, as well as King Nikesh's Scorpion Legion. So they're gonna be dropping some poison damage in here and hopefully helping us clean this out. But Setra is getting absolutely destroyed by the Glade Lord. So we drop Blade of Setap on him, try and give him that minus 30 armor and physical resist. Unfortunately, he's still going to manage to land that killing blow on Setra. However, very fortunately for us, the balance of power is in our favor. The Tomb Guard with halberds back here, supported by the spears, are taking out the War Dancers. And all that's really left for my opponent here is the Spellsinger and the Glade Lord. So I'm going to pull the Tomb Prince out of combat. He does good damage, but I don't want him getting killed. I can't afford to lose what's left of my leadership, basically. So if I lose him, everything is just going to crumble to dust. I'm going to lose just flat out because of that. So we're just going to bog him down, try and surround him a little bit with the Tomb Guard, get those spears in there. Back here, he does pull out the War Dancers, so we are going to be in pursuit. And his spell singer, he's trying to bring in some of his rallying troops, but all of his archers are gone. So basically, going to boil down at this point to just grinding out this Glade Lord with all of our troop blob. Tomb Print's going to get a little wrapped up by the word answers, unfortunately, but we're going to be okay. We're just going to pull them out of combat, try and drag them towards our infantry over here with the Tomb Guard so they can support. Spell Singer dipping out of there. But yeah, Glade Lord's wavering, and once he goes, that's pretty much going to be the end. Um, Not much left on health. I'm just going to kind of get a fast forward going here. You can see we bogged down all the ward answers, and yeah, once we break the Glade Lord, that's it for his army. So really good fight. Definitely a lot of skirmish heavy engagement going on here. Fortunately for me, the Blessed Legion and the Skeleton Archers do really mad work. If you've got Setra, take the spell that buffs your missile damage if you're going up against skirmish heavy factions, because it's going to outgun the heck out of anything you come up against. Really like that spell. But yeah, Chosen of the Gods, tons of HP damage, but Ushabti with Great Bow do a lot of like model killing. So that's one thing I keep in mind when I'm going up against Chaos, is these guys are really great. But if I have Ushabti with Great Bow and I'm shooting at Chosen, like most of the time the arrow will just kill a model, which can help a bit more than just doing base HP damage. So I guess it depends on like if you want to shrink the unit down before it gets in combat, or if you just want to tank its health and then maybe get like Ushabti, like the regular ones, into combat there and just shred what's left. But just something to keep in mind. A little bit of a quirk there, HP versus model kills. Blessed Legion doing great work with their armor debuff. Unfortunately, it doesn't come super heavily into play against Glade Guard, but always helps. Yeah, all around, nothing really outstanding here. Chosen of the Gods got a lot of kills. They lasted for a super long time. Everything just kind of did its job. Played really well. Worked out for us. Over here on the Wood Elf side, Eternal Guard, awesome unit. Love them. Winterheart Guards are super strong. The Word Answers were doing a stellar job just sweeping through my chaff. They're a really good unit too. Glade Guard with Starfire Shafts. Obviously, he was expecting more construct play, and he wanted to try and nuke it down, maybe nuke my Lord. Unfortunately for him, we had enough skirmishing to basically like counter skirmish him. He just couldn't tear through my Ushabti fast enough, and then the Skeleton Archers and Blessed Legion were pretty much rinsing him, the carrion doing good work, bogging him down. Wild Riders got some good kills, but they were trying to bob and weave through Tomb Guard with halberds, and by the time they were really able to effectively get into combat, most of my ammo had been spent, but still doing good, wrapping up some kills and taking out a good amount of my skirmishing. But yeah, all in all, great game to my opponent. Really had a fun time with it. But yeah, that's going to be it for today. So drop a comment down below. Let me know what you thought. Anything you'd like to see in particular faction-wise. Anything you'd like me to play. Maybe some builds. Just hit me up in the comments down below. Otherwise, like, sub, hit the little bell notification for my next uploads. And yeah, I'm going to see you guys next time.